All right, red meat. Let's jump in.
Diving right in.
Let's dive right in. Would you consider red meat an inflammatory food?
I mean, I think you have to look at everything as on an individual level. So there are some people that it is inflammatory to them, but the risks that are involved with red meat. There was a new study that just came out about from University of Washington that said it's like they level risk by 0 to 15, and it's in 0 to 15% more that you may get something from unprocessed meat, but like processing the meat, and that'll actually do more to it. So if you're just getting meat from like steaks from a farm, it's negligible. I mean, walk outside and you have a chance of getting cancer. I mean,
yeah. In 2021, at some point, I watched this documentary called Fat Fiction. Have you ever heard of it?
I haven't seen that one.
Or seen it? It's really good. I've watched it twice now, and I was going to watch it a third time before tonight, but I didn't get it done. But it talks about was it the 50s and 60s, this kind of craze that was instigated by this guy named Ansel Keys, that he was kind of had this agenda to position trans fat as being dangerous and get people over to saturated fat, and then get people over to what was it? It was more low. Hold on, because I don't want to screw this up. He's moving people over to from saturated fats over to, basically it was like the fake stuff, like margarine, like his what's the term for that? Doggone it. Low fat, high carb. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah. He was basically promoting a low fat, high carb diet, but it was like trans fats, right? Is that what it is? Trans when fats. You have like fake stuff, like margarine instead of butter. I grew up eating that. Country Crock. It was in the
brown container.
Yeah, brown container. Yep. It was margarine.
Oh, I grew up in diet culture, so like my mom was always on a diet. We had diet soda everywhere. You know, everything was. We're Italian and Irish, so
okay.
Like, food's good. I'm a big fan of food.
Yeah.
But like everything was diet, low fat. You know, all that stuff. So, yeah,
really?
I grew up in that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I did not grow up that way. My mom made a lot of food, but we bought a lot of food too. But I remember the sodas and just all that stuff. But anyhow, this documentary kind of details how that's not working out so well.
Yeah.
You know, to be eating all these trans fats and sugars. And it was sort of positioning meat and saturated fats, which maybe you can talk about what saturated fats are, where they come from, but it was positioning all of that as like bad for your heart. And then this was when the manufacturing food was becoming popular, like Cheerios and these types of manufactured foods, low fat, everything, you know, they were sticking low fat on everything, and people were buying it and eating it thinking it was healthy. And now it's causing all these problems. And one of the things that the Fat Fiction documentary is pointing out is that there's some misconceptions in this area. And so I wanted to ask about red meat being inflammatory, and I don't even know exactly what that means, but I have, if I eat whatever I want to eat and don't care at all, I just feel disgusting. Like my gut's not it's not like a metal tank in there. Like it's something else. You know, like if I eat what I would think of as inflammatory foods, I feel it, dude. My spine, my neck, my bones will feel like they're eating themselves, literally.
Yeah.
And so a few times now, most recently being January the 11th, I started eating carnivore again. And if I go 1 week eating only carnivore, all that's gone.
Yeah.
Like it's completely gone. I feel great. My skin clears up. If I have any sort of sore or anything on my skin, it clears up. My gut feels great. My poop stabilize. But that's just been my experience. And I was talking to someone recently about this, and they made the comment like, well, isn't red meat inflammatory? And I was like, it'd been a while since I've heard that, and it kind of caught me off guard because I've not experienced it as inflammatory at all. So is it for some people, or?
I mean, it can be. Like, I won't ever say that it's impossible because everyone's so different. There's people that have, you remember people who got bitten by the tick and they got alpha gal.
Yes.
So those people, it is inflammatory towards, and it causes a lot of health issues. But like outside of that, it's hard for me to be like, yes. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't really say no, but I can't say yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
what is considered, what's the definition of an inflammatory food?
Anything that can cause bloating or stress in the system, or like, so you're saying you feels like your bones are eating themselves. Mm-hmm. It injects like essentially toxins in between those, and it's like just a bunch of grit. So like when your joints pop, you know, and it kind of hurts, like that's just a bunch of like inflammation that's in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So inflammatory foods will cause inflammation in your body,
yes,
essentially, which is like a buildup.
Biome. I mean, a lot of people talk about things like candida and things like that, but that's from an overgrowth of utilization of carbohydrates, processed carbohydrates. That's what the stomach feeds off of. Mm-hmm. And candida grows off of that. So like things like that can cause, you know, there's a lot of things that can cause inflammation.
Yeah.
Like I can't eat gluten.
Okay.
Because it causes all sorts of bad things in my body.
Yep.
Digestive issues, pooping issues, you know. So like I don't want any part of that. Mm-hmm. So I stay away from it.